Hello and welcome to my 4-year anniversary on YouTube, as my very first video was released on August 12th, 2017. Before I go through the history, the changes, all my thought processes as I went through this channel, I wanted to answer the question of what's next, what's in the future for the Redstone Engine universe. Well, in the immediate future is my 250 subscriber special, which I have spent a while on and I think hopefully everyone should really enjoy, which will either release in a month from now or if we reach 250 subscribers sooner. We're only, as I'm looking at now, like 9 people away, so I encourage you to just, give me a bit of a boost so we can get to see this amazing video sooner with an actual subscriber count of 250. As if in a month we don't hit it, I'll just release it anyways. I'm not gonna hold it against you. I spent a lot of time on it. But what about after that? What do I have in store? Plenty. The problem is always which to do first and motivation. I'm hoping in a couple months, once I get settled in college, most of those problems will get solved. Yes, college. That means for right now, everything is kind of up in the air as to what I'll continue or start doing. I've always put education first, game making second, and YouTube third, so we'll see. But like I said, I have many plans, and I hope to bring you all along with the many things I have in store. I actually provide many hints as to my plans in my 250 subscriber special. Anyways, let's look at this special playlist I have here, which actually is kind of just for this occasion. It's the update vids.mp4. I think you can see it in the playlist section of my channel. But here, basically, what I've been doing is just kind of update videos, like things that I've been doing that have been new. So like my first video right here, Elf on the Shelf, was August 12th, 2017. As Lego creation number 1. I kind of started YouTube as to kind of like I was saying before, how I had education first, game making second, YouTube third, is that I kind of wanted it to piggyback off of any projects that I was doing, specifically game making, because around this time I was actually starting on my first game as well. And of course I knew kind of for marketing, I don't like doing things the normal way. I like trying to find the most unique way to do things, which has been extremely detrimental, especially with like uploading like around 250 videos and only having like less than 250 subscribers. But yeah, so I was just like, oh, well, what can I do? What can I show off right now just to kind of get myself started in it? Because you always hear, oh, and just to get into YouTube, you just got to get started. So I was like, well, I have a couple Lego creations and things like that. I think the main thing is actually my old logo, the Foxy, which you can see there. I made that over spring break because I was bored that year. I think it was probably 2017. And I made it based off of a book, The Silver Eyes. I still wanted to show it off because I was really proud of it, and it was just stuck in my room. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to show it off. But I went through all my other Lego creations first, so you can see like the Elf on the Shelf and all that. I had an old channel introduction. I think what I did is I recorded a whole bunch of videos and just released them all in like 2 days. Like all my Lego Connects creations. And then I was like, well, I guess I need to either start creating more Lego Connects things or move on to other stuff. But I made this channel introduction, I think, at the same time. So it's like, yeah, I'm just going to show off Lego Connect stuff. And but then I eventually immediately moved on, so it's kind of pointless. So yeah, I did that. I did the old channel introduction. Oh, and then I immediately went on to my TI-84 calculator, because that's kind of how I got into programming, is through the TI-84 calculator, because not many people did it. I wanted to be unique. So that's kind of how I got into programming. And then of course I had I probably definitely didn't want to release that, the Big Ben, because I think it required blue for probably the TARDIS here. And so I got rid of the whole ocean. So it didn't look that good. But I ran out of videos to release. And it looks like I went straight into kind of Minecraft mods. I made them a while ago. I wonder if I can actually see when. But I think actually, maybe right here or maybe in here is the first time I actually use the name Redstone Engine. Because I of course made these a while ago, like probably a year or two before I even started my channel, and I I had to think of a name, and so then I thought of Redstone Engine. So, uh, kind of the main reason why I released these is because they didn't get enough attention, and I wanted to get them out there, but still didn't get that much attention, even being on YouTube. Only getting a few views. But then I shut off my retro game controller. That was a cool thing. I really like that thing. Because it has a bunch of retro games. And they're pretty much bug free. I haven't noticed any bugs in any of them. But then eventually I got onto the Mumbo Jumbo Mega Piston House. I just started my YouTube channel. I think a part of that was also to kind of participate in the recent Mumbo Jumbo competitions. And so I was like, oh, finally it's like a thing like that. And of course, again, the reason why I was doing Pocket Edition, Bedrock Edition, Redstone, and things like that was to be unique. Not many people were doing it. But yeah, so then I was making a few piston doors, things like that, and then I was like, well, I could kind of go off of this. And so Mumbo recently showed a triangular piston door. I was like, I can do that. I could make a triangular piston door. So I worked, and I finally did it. And I was really proud of it. I immediately released it. And then after that, I started doing a whole bunch of kind of Bedrock Edition Redstone. Well, at that time it was Pocket Edition. And then it looks like I actually had Game 1. Yeah, see, I made the YouTube channel to kind of more go off of game making, as I knew it was kind of a thing that I really wanted to do, and to just kind of jump start myself in both YouTube and game making. I just started it just 2017. But you can see I kind of made a few other videos, mainly kind of Bedrock Edition Redstone, meaning that other videos did worse because the people who watch my content most likely saw this stuff and was like, oh, okay, well, I'll keep on watching it for that content, or subscribing for that content. So then the rest of the stuff kind of didn't do as well. But yeah, the game idea wasn't that good to start with. It did get me jump started because that was my first game project, but could definitely do some more stuff. And so then I guess I made like an update video. I don't remember what I said in it. I could probably go in and see, but like mainly all this stuff is just like, oh, making a project and kind of just showing it off, and if it goes somewhere, it goes somewhere. I don't want to do any editing because then I put way too much effort into editing, and so it would take so long to actually get videos out. And it's like, well, if people enjoy it and people start watching and things like that, then maybe I'll put some editing in there. But I just kind of hated the process of editing. I actually tried to do some live stuff. I really want to do more live stuff. I've always kind of wanted to do more live stuff, but my as you can see, I have trouble. I have difficulty. All this, I believe, was actually on my phone or tablet. I think recording these was all on my tablet, and then my phone was, because you can see the buttons for the Pocket Edition, or it may have been also my tablet. Because it is a bigger screen. But yeah, of course I have difficulty live streaming. I want to do more, and occasionally I try and get back into it, but of course my Wi-Fi isn't that good currently. And I did a 2018 political cartoon calendar. I really enjoyed it. It was just kind of like a scientist thing that they making fun of politicians and things like that. I thought it was interesting. I thought other people would enjoy. I did it every month, or not every month, because I eventually found that nobody was watching it. But I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I wonder if any other people. And then I did a looking back at Redstone creations of 2017. I must have done a lot. Yeah, I guess. Because I started in August. I must have done a lot of Redstone creations between August and then the end of the year. I did an aquatic update review, because as you can see, I found some bugs and things like that, and it was poorly put together. Um, Making games live, I did that. I think, yeah, this one worked smoothly, but it was the first time I was kind of programming live. Um, but nobody watched, so I was sad. um, I then had a video around the world Italian. My dad is an excellent cook, so I wanted to kind of show off some of his food. Um, Minecraft game show in Bedrock Edition. This was gonna be something that I think would have been really cool. Um, I don't know who would have done it because there's not many Bedrock Edition users. There probably is. I just haven't looked into it too much. I'm working more on my game here. But it wasn't. I the main reason why I haven't finished this is because I've forgotten about it. Every time I see this, I remember. Oh yeah, that thing. I may make a game show for Java Edition. I don't know. That could be cool. I think I mainly made this. It's like, look, game show. This is like a great idea. But then nobody kind of watched it, probably because it's Bedrock Edition or something. I don't think did Mumbo do the Redstone side Redstone. He forgot something. He definitely forgot the Mumbo Jumbo Slime Army. I think he forgot both of them. I was really mad about that. Yeah. So then I did the YouTube challenge. I remember this because I kept on seeing like I made Hermitron. I was trying to make Hermitron go automated, things like that. For Bedrock Edition. I remember doing the YouTube challenge. That was that was an interesting thing that I did. Just like, you know what? I think I can make a video per week, and I think I even started that week. So like I was pre-recording things, and everything was actually working incredibly smoothly. Besides like the last two videos, I think I kind of rushed for those. Probably because I had an idea of what I wanted to do till the end. I think this one was actually going to be a different video besides what should I do in Minecraft. But then I was like, I don't know what to do. So it's like, yeah, sure, I'll just be like, what should I do next? But yeah, it was a whole week. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, a whole 7-day week. I found that I've been doing a lot more kind of 7-day week things, or weekly things. Like where I just upload stuff for a whole week for some reason. But yeah, slowing down, stopping vanilla Minecraft. That is actually a very interesting thing that I wish more people saw. That was a cool thing that I made where the armor stands point to a location by just putting a redstone torch at the bottom, and they like point. I think that's part of the Hermitron Go where you could use them to point at a Hermitron closest to you or something like that. That was cool. But yeah, this didn't get many views. A lot of my early stuff didn't get many views. This one got many views. I think it's actually one of my more popular videos. It was just because, yeah, 1.5. They went from this video to that video. Because in this video, I didn't go over how to make the two-way flying machine. Because I was like, oh, nobody's going to see it, things like that. But then a lot of people saw it. I was like, oh, look, I made an elevator. And here's also how to make it. It was really bad. Because it was 30 minutes and it shouldn't have been. But yeah, this is part of the triangular piston door, except I think I actually compacted it even more, which it looks really cool. Adding portals with commands as kind of a simple thing, but still kind of cool, especially for Bedrock Edition. I was looking at my old Minecraft files, my old Minecraft worlds, essentially. I don't know why I called it files. I should have called it worlds. I remember thinking that it was going to be a lot more interesting than it was. And only 6 people watched it, so yeah, it was 30 minutes. And then I said, what should I do next? Which, the thing is, I always kind of ask, what should I do next? Because I was kind of like, well, I'm doing this stuff, and I'm doing Redstone, and it's like, what should I do next? And then people either suggest something that's like typical, like, okay, well, that's everybody's doing it. And of course, I always have a struggle of, I want to be unique, I want to do my own thing. Or people would ask something that is kind of near impossible in Minecraft, which, okay, that's cool, but it's I like being creative and showing off and things like that. Well, not necessarily showing off, but like being dramatic with how I do things and just doing something extremely technical. Um, it just didn't really fit my style, because I think the main thing behind that is that there's a lot of people who do get into the really technical stuff, like the Sidecraft server, and I automatically know that I can't get to that level. I of course can, but what's the purpose since they already get there? Because then I wouldn't be unique. So it's always a struggle with me. Of course, I crave criticism. One view, nobody reviewed it, and um, I had ideas for other. Did I have ideas for other games? I don't remember. I think after this, yeah, after that I made Space Fighters, but that's a different thing. Um, I got a 3D printer. That was cool. I showed off my 3D prints. I think, actually, I made another video. It's like my prints for the 2018 year. And I think that actually got put in a playlist of like, hey, look, here's 3D printing channels or videos essentially. And so that got a decent amount of views, not too many, but that was kind of interesting, and I kind of like that. I appreciate them for doing that. I made I was part of a kind of a small team, prototype RSS and Java Minecraft. I worked on it with a few people. One of the more recent faces, Pixel Universe, he was part of that. I made a video showcasing it. Got 33 views. I think the person in charge, Mush JRL, he was reaching out on different platforms and things for that, and we it was a good concept. The only reason why I didn't like it and I didn't participate as much, or wasn't motivated, I should say, as much, is because it was Rainbow Six Siege and I never played it. But of course I was participating because I really liked the people working on it, and I really wanted to work with them. So yeah, I was doing that. I think that was the first time that I started getting into command blocks in Java Edition. I think I was a bit into them before they changed them to be like arrows and things like that. But then I never got back into it because I never really got back into Java Edition until then. I got back into Java Edition and command blocks, and kind of learned how to use them at that point. And then I kind of did a bit more, not too much, because I wanted to. I felt like Bedrock Edition was more unique, so I kind of more went off of that. But yeah, I kind of did that 2D game. That was a really interesting concept, and I really liked the idea of that. But it didn't get that much attention. It did get a decent amount of attention actually, but I don't think anybody commented on it or anything. It's essentially like you move with WASD and it move the block around, or move the maze around you. And you could do a lot of interesting concepts with it. And it was in Bedrock Edition, so that was very cool. This was another challenge, but I think he actually did this challenge, the spooky door. So that's cool. The beta is finished. I finished 1/2 of 1/4 of 1/3 of the original plan for Aventoir. And I'll that's a thing. Not gonna say too much about that. Made a countdown system in Bedrock Edition because I think scoreboards were just introduced. Doing that, it's done a lot of the early stuff here, all the way for pretty much 3 years. Is pretty much me just like, hey, look, I'm doing something. Look, I do that. Cool. Look, it's unique and things like that. It was kind of just throwing stuff together. I just mainly enjoying my time on it. And not really focusing too much on the YouTube aspect. As I said before, YouTube is always third compared to game making and school. Then this one actually got a decent amount of views. The Show Yourself Deltacraft. I basically recreated Deltarune, just the demo, and I recreated it in Bedrock Edition. That was just kind of a short project. I combined project and hobby. It was a project that I did. Yeah, the only thing about it is, since it got so many views, I felt that it needed to be um, just a lot better than how it was. It looked a lot better than how it was. So I ended up, where is it? I think I explained it. Oh, teaching the DeltaCraft thing here. I explained how it worked, but I was like, should I do this in Java Edition or Bedrock Edition? I put a poll. Not many people voted on the poll, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it in Java Edition because I don't like how this looks. If I want to do something right, I got to do it right. Since a lot of people were seeing it. So I started making it in Java Edition. I made it look incredibly realistic, and I actually only recently released the new version after 2 years, probably 3 years now, of releasing that. Mainly because I ran into roadblocks, which thank you Trash Star for getting me past them. And then yeah, I got Scrap Mechanics. Scrap Mechanics, a really interesting game. Whenever I started doing my survival series on it, I went more in depth into what I think would make the game really stand out for me. Which they've the ship has already sailed in that, which is fine. It just always kind of bothers me. That's like, oh well, it could be this way, but that's fine. They're going their own path. And it's brought about some ideas for my own games as I'm kind of thinking about it more. This one is the Fantasy's Hidden Crafting Bench. I think I originally did something else. I did something very similar that was trying to basically do that, but I couldn't do it. So I just what's it called? Like copped out, I think is what it's called. And released a simpler version. I can't find it. But then I realized that I was thinking about it wrong, and so I went back to it and I started and I was able to actually make it. And the reason why the thumbnail is actually updated is because it's I made a tutorial over this recently. So I was like, oh well, I'll update the thumbnail since it didn't have many views. Space Fighters. Space Fighters was, I think I was stuck with DeltaCraft. I was like, well, I want to create a game, and I didn't want to do Abentoir because that was kind of a failed project. And so then I remember just like walking around my house for like a couple hours, like what is a game that I want to do? And I basically came up with competing but also cooperating in a multiplayer game where you're shooting. It's like, oh, you don't want to shoot your companion, but you also want to get a higher score than them. And the game turned out actually decently well. Because I always think about it, it's like, well, not many people like it, so it must be a bad game. But I play it and I'm like, oh, well, that's kind of cool. I released it for I think $1. I only think one person bought it. So I recently put it out to free. Because I do think it is still a cool game, playing it occasionally, and I'm like, oh yeah, well, other people can play it. I don't want to limit it by of course that. And so then I have many more ideas for this, but I don't know if I want to go on them because it's not necessarily unique. Kind of going back off the unique thing, but this one is actually good about being unique because I could fully finish this game and all that, and it would be a really cool game. It's just it wouldn't really stand out in the game market. I have many other ideas that I can get started on that will actually be unique, and then later over time I can go back to this and finish it, and I may think of something that would kind of make it look good. I think like my 2018 3D prints, it actually only has 16 views. I think like only a few of them were from that playlist then. But then summer came, it's like, oh yeah, 3 months equals more projects. Yeah, let's do this. And I think I only made like up to here. I think it was only up to here that I made new videos. So the plan that I actually had for this, which was very much hindered by this, was I was going to create my own video editor because again I hate video editing, and so then what I wanted to do was I wanted to make my own process for doing it, so then I could basically um, be able to like, oh well, I want to do this for the video. Well, I can program that into the video and do all that, but it didn't work out well because there's many problems with it. I think the main thing that I found out only recently is that I was using the CPU to render the image, which I should have been using the GPU to render the image, which would have made it run a lot faster. Um, but that took a while. That took like, this is an hour and 38 cut down, but it was, I think it took like a couple weeks, and I was just like, I was completely tired of it, but I was like, I needed to finish it because it was a pivotal point to where I wanted to create the video editor and then video edit a whole bunch of stuff, and then basically go back and then make a an algorithm or AI that, based off of what I put in there, would result in an edited video, something like that. I think the main reason for that was like recently, maybe a year ago or something like that, compared to this video. There's a popular, or I guess not too popular, but decently popular programming YouTuber that made an editing thing where they could like snap and like say something, and then the video editor would then go back and do that. So I was like, well, I'm gonna do it my own way. I'm gonna use an algorithm to do it, but that was very ambitious and didn't work out even in the first step of making a video editor. I don't even use it. I only used it for these two videos, I think, and maybe one more. But yeah, that kind of fell through, but and I still released a few other videos. I made a chemistry game, and that was kind of cool. I kind of wanted to show that off. I made a bomb defusal challenge pack, which took a little while as well. This one didn't take a while, but I made a cool underwater piston door. I think, yeah, this one I actually, anytime I think about Redstone, like back then, before I even started making Redstone, I always wanted to do this. I wanted to make it to where it's like, oh, there's a secret trap door under the water, and you can go to the secret entrance there. And so I was actually able to create it here, with kind of the setup that I had. So I thought that was kind of cool, but it was only 51 views. But it kind of holds a special place in my heart, as that was a kind of something that I always kind of wanted. Game jams. After doing Space Fighters and not getting any views on it, I was really demotivated for making games. So I was like, I'm just gonna do some game jams. I think I participated in two. I participated in a Brackies one, which was during school, so that game wasn't good at all. But then I also did Conquer the Tree, which you can see there, and that turned out really well. Not in terms of people playing it, but in terms of just making a game. I think at this point, of making Conquer the Tree, I really enjoyed making it because of the complex nature of it, and just kind of making a party game and things like that. That I started to not care anymore about like not getting many views, and I was reaching 100 subscribers. So at this point, I was kind of changing, because at each milestone, I find that I change how I think of how I make things. So then at 100 subscribers, I started to change how I thought. I made a quick and easy thing there, and I think this is the last time that I said it was like, okay, well, this is the last time that I'm making Bedrock Edition Redstone, and I wanted to move on to other stuff. That's funny that I did that right after creating my essentially dream redstone contraption there. But right here, Mumbo made this, and I was like, oh, well, I can do that in Bedrock Edition, and it'll be my last one. I think in there I said it was my last one. Then somebody commented like, hey, you're good at Bedrock Edition Redstone. Want to join a Discord server? It's like, kind of don't want to, because I don't want to continue on with Bedrock Edition Redstone. So yeah, I created the honey piston. That was a whole meme going around. So I was like, it's a meme going around. I can actually create that. Let me create that. I created it. Nobody looked at it. Nobody else created it even. But, I participate in Team Trees. Anyways, I started going to 100 subscribers. I started doing more video type stuff. I think I remember thinking at the time, I was like, well, I'm gonna make more video type stuff instead of creating just kind of on the fly, like, hey, look, I made this thing and whatever. And I started to kind of go more into that with like a Minecraft survival series, and then I restarted it with different people, and I was an April Fool's. And then I was busy with school, so it was like 3 weeks later. But I think by the time I posted this video, it was actually 3 weeks ago, because actually what I started doing at 100 subscribers was I actually reached 100 subscribers as soon as Corona hit. And so I had plenty of time on my hands. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna release a video per week. So I released a video per week. And this is whenever I started the Scrap Mechanic Survival series. I started to do more videos instead of more project videos. This was a project video, which actually did pretty well. But I started to do more videos, which didn't do as well. This was a project video. These were both Minecraft commands, which apparently Minecraft commands in Java Edition get a lot of views. So maybe I should start doing more of those. I do actually have plans for some of them, which you can again see in the 200, sort of see, not really see, but it's hinted at very briefly in the 250 subscriber special. But yeah, this actually is my most popular video now. Before it was DeltaCraft, but now it's the realistic water, which I'm extremely glad for. But yeah, talking about 2020, this was starting to get more into like, oh, I'm gonna actually be able to do more stuff with the Scrap Mechanic Survival series, and it was reaching a new level. The thing is, it all broke down at that point. I didn't actually make another video after that. Well, I actually did, but it was after kind of breaking it up, because I was releasing Scrap Mechanic normal, Scrap Mechanic normal, Scrap Mechanic normal. It was kind of going back and forth with that. And then I did Hold On, Big Things Planned, because I was releasing one video per week, and I needed to take a break to do like a whole week of videos. I really wanted to do a whole week of videos again. I don't know why that's kind of the theme. But yeah, I did Let's Talk About Our Community, because I was actually doing AP testing at that time. I didn't want to focus on a YouTube video. I think I actually had an AP test that day. But I pre-recorded and pre-released it, or scheduled it to release then. And so yeah, I made some auto basalt bridges. I went back to Bedrock Edition, Redstone. Oh, technically not Redstone, because it's more slime blocks and stuff. But I was like, oh, I can do that. So I did it. I did the bridge, and then I did the tunnel. And those actually got a decent amount of views. But yeah, then I had all these videos planned. The thing is, school is starting here, so I didn't have the ability to release all these videos, plus do like a video per week. I felt like, oh, you know what, I'm just going to release them all in 1 week, because I had like 7 or 5 video ideas. So yeah, I kind of waited for that. I kind of took a small break. But before that break, I actually did, well, at the very beginning of the break, I actually competed in another Brackies Jam. And I actually really enjoyed it. I wasn't planning on making a video about it or anything, but I actually really enjoyed it, and I think I'm actually going to release, finally, the video on making it, because I never edited it down, because I was, of course, waiting to release the week of videos. This was more my priority than this. But I still want to release it, and Brackies is doing another jam, which, fortunately, Brackies is now gone, which is very unfortunate. He actually got me, well, I wouldn't say started, but he definitely helped in getting me along, because I definitely watched his tutorial videos to get me started in them. I like how anytime you hover over this, it's me trying to use the anvil, but it doesn't work. I don't know why that world is corrupted. Anyways, but yeah, that's actually a very cool thing, and I want to expand upon it more, which I think is also hinted in the 250 subscriber special. All my future plans are hinted at in there. But yeah, stay tuned. Wiki video soon. 20 views. Didn't get as much as I was planning. More than earlier videos, I can say. I don't want to put it down, but I always looked for more, but got less. But I didn't let that bother me at all because I realized that that was a guaranteed thing. At 100 subscribers, I kind of realized it's like, well, I'm going to start making videos that show off stuff, but I'm not going to necessarily care about it because I know that it's not going to get that many views. I'm just kind of more enjoying myself. So then I started released the week of videos. Siren Head augmented reality experience that's actually still getting downloaded pretty frequently on itch.io. Conquer the Tree release trailer. It actually said release soon trailer, and then it was finally released. And then I did Portal 2 collab, which only 12 people viewed it. I have the other videos in stock, but it doesn't seem like it's worth the editing due to how low it got viewed. And actually, I think most of these videos, besides this one and this one, yeah, so like this one, that one, and that one were all edited by somebody who really liked my content and wanted to edit for me. Just kind of as a hobby, because I'm doing it as a hobby. It wasn't paid at all because I'm not getting paid. And I made sure that we all realized that. But yeah, it was kind of a cool experience having an actual editor because, again, I just something bothers me about editing for some reason. But I have started doing it more. I'm just kind of, for some reason, I'm a perfectionist whenever it comes to editing. So it just takes a while. Week of videos is done. Open up a Discord server. If you haven't joined the Discord server, I believe there should be a link in the description. Cookie Tree is released. I had to dig deeper. This was a joke video going like, only 1% of people are subscribed, which is actually true. I think it's now at like 0.5% or something like that. Mainly due to the fact that the subscribers only watch new videos and non-subscribers get recommended a random video, most likely the realistic water video, and then watch it. So of course it's going to be extremely low. I actually have 131 subscribers in this video, as you can see from the redstone lamps. that was a funny video. It was just a pure joke video, only going over like only 0.1% of people are subscribed. If you consider subscribing, subscribe now. And it all ramped up to that. So that's cool. Blender. Started using Blender. I made my own intro. Very cool. And so this was all kind of getting ready for 150 subscribers. So I was kind of getting prepared. Not necessarily voluntarily getting prepared, more like involuntary. I don't know why. It's like I get to a milestone, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to change things, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do things differently. So it was kind of ramping up to that, kind of doing more stuff. And like, I think this was a video that like this one and this one I had in the backlog for a while. I was like, you know what? I'm finally going to get all the videos that I wanted to get done, and things like that. And I started moving on to, for all these, I'm using actual editing software, DaVinci, Resolve, and I'm planning it out a lot more, and I'm doing this, doing that, and it seems to have worked, as I'll kind of mention 250. I keep on mentioning it, but you know, it's a pretty big video. But only these 6 videos are, it's gonna be 7, and I'm gonna be at 250, hopefully. Compared to all of these other videos and getting to 150. So it's been a while. I think I did want to mention that it's like I think it was like 100 subscribers, and then I went through all this, and I was just kind of mass producing videos, and I was enjoying myself. I was just like, you know, I'm making a project, I'm doing it, whatever. And then eventually at 150, I actually started looking back at the content and realized how all over the place it was, and kind of like technical in different aspects. So like I would go in depth with Minecraft, but then I'd go in depth with programming. It's like, okay, well, who's your audience? Who's gonna watch both? Who's gonna subscribe for both? So I kind of, at this point, I'm like, maybe I should focus more on the showmanship and less on the technical aspects, so then it would flow a lot better. Yeah, so I really like this. Not many people, well, I guess a decent amount of it. It's perspective. Based off of all the other videos, it has actually done pretty well, but compared to other YouTube channels, which I think I started to do more at 150, I started to consider it more as a professional hobby at this point in time, besides just a hobby. And I'm kind of moving more and more to professional hobby as the milestones move on. So I'm definitely going to be changing content a bit going past 250 subscribers as I've already changed mental attitude and things like that since then. So yeah, that's kind of it's kind of a long recording. I didn't go over the update vids.mp4, which would have made it go a lot quicker, but I wanted to get more in depth with things, and then I wanted to go on here instead. Yeah, I changed my YouTube logo, and then HICB, how it could be. I don't have too many plans for HICB. It was a plan at the time whenever I first had the idea of Plants vs Zombies and Augmented Reality of the series HICB. I don't know if I can continue HICB though. Again, it's all up in the air. But yeah, that's all that I have to say, to go over. Thank you all for 250 subscribers. And here I am. Yeah, that's right. Sudden face reveal at the end of a 45-minute video. Thank you for watching to the end. I know that not many people will, and I don't even know if someone will, since it's like I only have 250 subscribers. That's kind of the problem of being a small YouTuber, is like if you want to talk to an audience and interact with an audience, you don't really have an audience to bounce off of. But yeah, very temporary setup right now. I'm not in college yet, so hopefully maybe I'll find a better situation there. Just have a blanket there and you can clearly see a reflection in my glasses. But yeah, 4 years. Of course, at 150, I started being more professional and more general audience, as I had discussed. But I feel like for my next step, for 250, in order to really move on and create a well-balanced set of videos, because with what I'm doing, again, I said I'm unique, but that's kind of a problem, is that I'm not really together in the terms of how I create my content. So I'm trying to be more together. So that's with making it more dramatic, and also now doing a face reveal and like doing face stuff, like prompting it with not necessarily, hey, this is a Minecraft video, this is a Redstone engine video. So yeah, I feel like it would be cool to have like a whiteboard here. So it's like, oh well, so how do we exactly do that? Well, this is how you do it, and more explanation videos. I just kind of experimenting around it, or it could just be me jumping around more and doing stuff. But I don't even know if anybody will see this. This is this is like my 10th take, but yeah, I think that's all that I wanted to say. Currently, right now, waiting for college is kind of stressful, I feel, because I'm just waiting. And like I feel like I could be doing YouTube videos, or like I think I'm overanalyzing my YouTube videos and what I want to do too much, to where I feel like I'm not gonna get anywhere with them, even though they are pretty good ideas. But anyways, that's all that I wanted to say. Is just here I am. So yeah, see you in the next video. Yeah.